Okay, wow. Look at me, 620. Oh, I don't like this light. I got to adjust some lighting here. Let me get some technical issues out of the way. Why don't we? Before we start the... Oh, I don't like that. There we go. That's a warm lighting. We take it down a notch or two. Okay. I think I could live with that. Sound looks good. We are rolling. It's 6:30. And I guess it's time to start the show. Let's move things out of the way. I'm a little disorganized today. I was a little frantic to get... Let me adjust some things here. I'm trying to get myself situated, adjusted. Move this over a little, get that over a little. And it's 6:30, so we're okay. We're doing pretty well. We're going to get the show started in a couple of minutes. I hope everybody had a wonderful Easter weekend, Passover weekend, holiday weekend, or just a weekend. How did you all do? Did you see family, friends? Did you just do your own thing? So let me know, and we'll get the show started in about a minute. I'm going to get one more thing set up for you guys. Hold on one sec. All right, and we're back from our short little commercial break. So, as I was saying, I spent Easter... How did I spend Easter and Passover weekend? I don't know if they usually combine on the same weekend, do they? I think they do, or sometimes. They're always around the same time. But I was with family, and that was nice. And, of course, we had all the... fun festivities. You know, it was a little shady, a little shaky, because we, our whole family got together, and we have two dogs that got together. My nephew's dog, which is like a big 100-pound golden doodle named Nori, and my sister and niece's dog, Bailey. You've seen Bailey before. And she's a Labradoodle, so it was a battle of the doodles this weekend. So we were, trying to keep them, just kind of mesh them ease, bring it in with ease, not an initial confrontation, just kind of the two dogs passing in the night, if you will, so nobody gets too excited. And I think they did pretty well. No fighting. The dogs got along. Family got along for the most part, so we escaped another holiday. Holidays, that's what really holidays are about, escaping without major fighting and all of the rest that comes with trying to put a holiday together. And, I was seeing some of you guys posting some of your holiday dishes. They looked good. I know my friends up in Northport, the Gyms, they had a lamb fest, the old traditional lamb. A lot of us don't eat red meat or certain things anymore at my family, so we had a lot of the basics, turkey or chicken, and we did have a little bit of ham and all of that jazz. So it was pretty handled pretty good. It seemed like an overabundance, and you know me, Mr. Health Guy. I'm donning the K Fitness hat today with the dumbbells shirt, a homage. I was wearing the other shirt last week, the Steve Squared shirt that my nephew did. So today I'm going with dumbbells. He did that one as well. He's actually going to be, I think he's my new costume designer. I think I'm going to give him that new role on the Steve Squared show. He's going to design, you know how like at the Oscars and they're like, what are you wearing? I'm going to say, I'm wearing Jared. And that's what I'm wearing, from hat to shirt. I'm wearing Jared. And unlike the Oscars, I don't have to return it afterwards. So it's April 18th. It's actually a little chilly outside. I went for I like to do something good on Easter, and I went for a nice run. It was a little cool, but there were a lot of people out. A lot of dogs and people walking their dogs and babies and dogs and people on bicycles, and everybody was out. It's Easter, spring day, so family has to find something to do, and nobody wants to be cooped up in the house with family. So they go for a walk, they take the dog, take the baby. A lot of vaping on the path, which was upsetting to me. People are still doing this nonsense. I know I have the Do Better segment later. I'll start one off early. Stop. Stop vaping in public areas. That's just as annoying as smoking. Nobody wants to see that nonsense, so cut it out. Especially people are trying to get some nice fresh air with their families, and nobody wants to see some nonsense vaping. So it seems like the whole island is now a waft of either vaping smoke or pot smoke. It's just this cloud that's fell upon us. So let's do better, huh? Speaking of which, I have so many segments to get to today, but you know what time it is. It's April 18th, Monday, and they have extended the tax deadline to today. Let me tell you how it's really. So let's bring it open. There's one for you, 19 for it. So why don't we intro? Cause I'm a tax man. The tax man. Yeah, I'm the tax man. And yes, that is the tax man. And the tax man is, what happened here? I don't know, to the tax man. So, welcome to the Steve Squared Show. Yes, it's Monday, April 18th, the tax man. And I want to check something. Let's go check something else here. Let's go to my blurps and make sure my blurps are working. FBI, open up! Oh, sure. You don't want to hear that on tax day. FBI, open up! That's the first thing you don't want to hear. That'll be a few weeks down the road, so don't worry. But you still have time. Here at the Steve Squared Show, as I mentioned, that's what you're watching. Welcome. We're doing remote style today from a undisclosed, where the FBI cannot find me. They can find anybody. I picked today to do the tax show from an undisclosed remote area. Steve, you won't even find today. Forget about looking for Steve. You can forget. He is in hiding today. No tax day for Steve Arino. He's trying to, stay indisposed. But you do have until midnight, and I don't even know what that means. So what happens if you file tomorrow? I don't know. It's not like somebody's going to come put you in jail. I mean, I think they'll impose, penalties or fees, or maybe they will. I don't know how much they're looking for you. I mean, are you like an Al Capone type? Are you hiding truckloads of money? Maybe then they'll look for you. So I'm thinking I have it all done. I'm like, I got it all done. My accountant told me it's all set. She even showed me what the results were. So I'm not thinking about it. I'm thinking about 99. I'm thinking about you guys. What entertainment can I deliver to you guys today? Then I get a text. I come home from Easter, nice Easter. I'm trying to watch a little bit of Winning Time, the Lakers dynasty. I'm telling you guys, you got to watch it. Episode 7 dropped last night. It's a great, great series. And I get a text from my accountant. What's your adjusted gross income from last year? I need it by the end of the day. End of the day, it is the end of the day. And that's never a call you want to get or a text. So I'm running around. I'm like, what? No, you can't text somebody on Easter and telling them they need to give you some kind. So I'm scrambling, looking for, and I'm pretty good keeping my files and my tax stuff. You know, hopefully it's all set. I don't know. I put a lot of trust in people. I got to stop doing that. But hopefully, I think it's all set. So don't worry. If you don't see me here next Monday at 6:30, you know what happened. I have been taken to where they are taking the Manganos. If you haven't looked or noticed, hey, let me even show you. Let's take a look. I think I have it here somewhere for you guys. Because, you know, it's part of my segment. Is this it? Oh, yeah, look at that. Boom. There we go. You can see that there, right? Oh, no. He got a dozen. He didn't get a baker's dozen. He just got a dozen years, and the wife only got 15 months. So that's my prison segment of the show. You know, I like to keep you informed of who's going to prison on Long Island. And it's always somebody every week. So it's a segment I feel comfortable putting on the Steve Squire Show, because it'll never be, oh, this week nothing happened. There's always somebody going to jail on Long Island. This week. But he has a couple of months. I love how they give somebody a couple of months to get their affairs in order. That's why he's going to jail. Because he used all that time to get his affairs together, which were unscrupulous. So now they're giving him a few extra months to get more of his affairs together before he goes into, let's face it, this guy's not going to Alcatraz. He's going to some minimum security nonsense. He'll probably play a little tennis or something like that, although he doesn't look in great shape. The wife's doing 15 months. She'll probably do harder time than he will. He probably sold her down the river, as all good husbands do. It was her! And she was in the other room going, it was him! I mean, you know, when you're facing jail time, you give everybody up. You don't care. Wives, dogs, labradoodles, everybody's going to prison. But unfortunately for the Manganos, they're doing a family plan. Yes, sirree, Bob. Do better, right? We talk about doing better. You could do better than that. FBI, open up! Oh, boy. You know,
wrong.
It is wrong, and
I love my life.
He's doing fine. He loves his life. Hey, I know you love when I'm doing the show from home. You love to see how my plant is doing, Kermit. Look at, this is a tree now. It has now exited from planthood into treehood. This is a small tree. I might have to plant this outside. Look how big this is getting. Look at this. This used to fit in the screen of the Steve Squire Show. Now, I can't even, it's like, I feel like I'm in the rainforest. Look at this thing. It's gorgeous. The leaves, this is fantastic. I'm watering it. My mom always says, feel the dirt. Make sure if it's moist. You don't want to overwater a plant. Very important not to overwater your plant. It doesn't want to be overly hydrated, like us. The same thing with everything. You don't want to overhydrate. Just, you know how people are walking around, especially in a gym. I see this all the time. Guys are walking around, girls, big jugs of water. What are you doing? You're not working out in the Sahara Desert, for God's sake. Just normal hydration. You don't have to walk around with a 2-gallon jug of water, because you will oversaturate yourself. You know you can do that. I love to give little bits of tidbit of information. That is called natremia. Natremia, which is actually, you can internally drown yourself. It happens. Not to anybody I know, but yes, that is an actual valid thing where if you that's why you have to be careful when you finish a marathon. They like to have you sip, not guzzle. So just a little tip on the Steve Squared Show: don't gulp, don't guzzle, sip. It's the same thing. Oh my gosh, speaking on controllable eating habits, My nephew, Jared, the art and costume designer of the Steve Squared Show. He doesn't know that yet, and I'm not paying him for that. I get the family discount, which is freebie. So,
Wrong.
that's not wrong. So, he suffered a crazy accident slash mishap. Talk about crazy. He was, I forget, he was eating just some chicken and rice, and he heated it in the microwave oven. And he ate it without it cooling down, and it burned his throat really, really bad. And so you have to be careful, and especially when you microwave food. See, I think the show should be more this. I like to teach lessons more than comedy. This might work better for me. So you have to watch, especially when you microwave. I've done it before where it's scalding, especially like if you microwave something and then you don't realize on the inside it gets burning hot. So if you learn nothing else from years of watching the Steve Squared Show, it's let your food cool. Don't be that hungry. Take your time. Make sure, test it with your finger. Okay, let's prevent a throat burning. And I told my nephew that. I'm like, for now on, he knows. He doesn't need to be taught that lesson again. He said it was so burning. You have to be careful. So anyway, just wanted to touch base on that. So don't forget, you have to. I believe the taxes. Friday was a holiday, so they're going to today, Monday the 18th. It's usually April 15th, right? Tax day, but today it's extended this year to Monday, today. So you still have 5 hours and 15 minutes to do one of two things. To either go to the post office. I think the one in Hicksville is always open till midnight, or you can e-file it. Do one of those. Do tax file it right online. You could do that before midnight, or you can hop on a plane to Honduras and escape the country. I believe there are flights leaving at 9:30 and 11:45 to any of the numerous South American countries where you can escape paying your taxes. But they'll find you. They always find you. IRS is good. They are good. They will find you, hunt you down. And for what? Pay your taxes. It is annoying. We do so much. And this is what I feel. If you're paying taxes, where are my taxes going? The roads stink. The lines are long. I can't get help at CVS. Where's my taxes going? For God's sake. I sound like one of those people. I'm paying taxes. Where is it going? Oy. I'm telling you, it's just, I don't know.
I love you. I love you.
I don't think so.
This isn't fair.
It isn't fair. We have to do better with our taxes. What else do we have on the menu today? Oh my gosh. So I said this on a previous show, and let me see if I can pull this up, because I really think you need to immerse yourself in this like I did. I wish I knew the song. Let me see. I think it's I had said this on one of the previous shows, that people shouldn't sing. I mean, people should sing, and people shouldn't tell people not to sing. You know how people add their 2 cents and say, oh, you can't sing, don't sing. And I said this on a show with Steve and Sally. I said, I hate when people do that. Sing your heart out. There's one condition. Now I'm going to find it for you here. Could this... No, that's not it. That's not it. Well, let's try this. Is this it?
Last night I went out honky-tonkin'. Dressed up in my very best. Looking for an evening's pleasure. Nothing more and nothing less. I was looking rather dashes.
So So that is the one Knish that you should not sing. Sylvester Stallone, you're Rocky. Stick with Rocky. Do another 11 Rockies. Do a Rambo. Don't do a movie like that ever again. In 1980 something or other, he did a movie called Rhinestone with Dolly Parton, the great Dolly Parton. I'm sure she regrets it 1,000 times over, having to do scenes with this meathead. And so Sylvester Stallone is singing in this movie Rhinestone. And it's a movie where I don't even know what the premise is. You might have seen it. It's in the 80s. Dolly Parton kind of helps to teach him how to sing in a country western bar, and it's so bad. It's a comedy musical. It's just terrible. It's god awful. That I gave you a snippet of it. That's the most you should. I wish that's all I would have saw. So then I'm digging in, and I find out a little interesting tidbit about our old friend Sly. So Dolly Parton, in her audiobook, she talks about what a jerk Stallone was during this time. She said there was a scene where they were doing in an alley. They're doing a scene. And it was really, really damp, kind of New York City damp streets of the city. Just really at nighttime, really bad. And she noticed this homeless man that obviously wasn't an extra in the movie, and he was, laying on the side of the street, and she took from the costume department one of the shawls, like a really nice shawl, and she blanketed him with it. And Sylvester Stallone comes over, rips it off the guy, and says, "Don't give it to him. That's one of our good costumes." He said, "That's his fault for ending up the way he did." And she said, and then she gave him, Dolly, she gave him the old country and western neck twist, and she said, "That could have just as easily been you, for not for the grace of your good luck." And, so she says, and you could see there's a lot of moments in interviews where she's kind of, trying to tiptoe around. They're like, "Would you do another movie with him?" And she's like, "I don't think so." And then I do a little more research, and his former wife, Brigitte Nielsen, I know you remember her. She was the wife of the Russian in Rocky IV, Dolph Lundgren. She married Sylvester Stallone for about a week and a half. She said he was the worst person ever, mostly to marry. She said he was professional on the set, but he was terrible. She was if you watch on a Larry King interview. So I'm building quite the compilation that Sly is not this great, affable guy that we all know him to be. And why I bring this up is because we have these perceptions of people like Will Smith, and we only have them because they're in front of a camera. If you had a camera shoved in your face most of the time, you would probably put on your best face as well. But it only takes a matter of time before your true colors, as Cyndi Lauper would say, would show. So my point is, always take these people with a grain of salt. Don't put them on this pedestal. They're just most of them are just idiots anyway. I like the hat. So that's my Dolly Parton, Sylvester Stallone moment. I'm adding a new segment of the show. That's another part of the show. I like that segment. Maybe unveiling, peeking behind the curtain of people. We did Will Smith. Well, he did that to himself. Sylvester Stallone. I'm going to try to dig. I'm going to do a little research and try to uncover people every week for you guys. Be like a journalist, like a real journalist, hard-hitting journalist. I like that. I really enjoy that. You want to hear a little more of this guy?
I try and feel it back. Now the thought of something less is.
Oh man, I'm telling you, he is god awful. Anyway, yeah, that's not
Wrong.
It is wrong. So I had something fun to. This was an interesting story in our Do Better segment and / prison segment. So since we did a little bit of prison, I'll add this also in. I thought this was fascinating or strange, or I don't know what to make of it. Hopefully this is not to bring you all down, but there's this inmate incarcerated. He's on death row in South Carolina. So he's facing the death penalty in South Carolina. And I didn't know this. In South Carolina, you get your choice. And he chose not the chair, but the firing squad. He's going to get the firing squad. So, and apparently this doesn't look like a good choice either, because it says volunteers. Who would what is going on in some of these states in the country? I mean, what? A volunteer? I mean, there's better things to volunteer with your time. Charity work, Big Brother program, maybe do that, Big Sister, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, but to be in a firing squad? I mean, it's ludicrous. It's not even funny. It's terrible. And if I got the choice, I would choose old age. I don't know what this guy was thinking about, but I mean, he just did not. This was no good right here. Uh-oh. Hold on a second here. All right. Stay with me for a second. We're not offline. We're just getting realigned, as I like to say. So what happened was, sometimes, and this only happens on rare occasions, during the show, I'll have a little technical issue, but as you can see, I fix these things. I've gotten so used to, and as we all have, doing so much remote and so much things, you get to fix these things in your sleep. And let's see if that actually fixes. And there you go. Boom. And boom. And boom. So that is Rhinestone with Sylvester Stallone if you really want to see a movie tonight. But don't see that. I'm telling you, it's not a good movie. But I did watch something last night, and I thought was... before I tell you about what I watched last night, here's another. So we had the. So I don't want to ask how you would choose about that guy's situation, but terrible. So yeah, for myself, I go old age. If they ask me, I'm in Alcatraz. I'm getting ready. They come down to ask me, sir. And of course, I'll be wearing the dumbbell shirt. And they say, what's your pleasure? What's your choice? Old age, I'm fine, thank you. I don't want to be suffocated, dropped off a building, shot by some volunteer. There are 4 states. We have 4 states that still use the firing squad. Can you name them? I always love to mix prison and trivia at the same time. 4 states. Let's go. Mississippi, of course, Mississippi. If you didn't know that already from watching, no, that took place in Alabama. My cousin Vinny. Oklahoma. They'll shoot you right there in Oklahoma. You don't even have to be in jail there. They'll just shoot you. Any volunteer will shoot you there. Hawaii. No, I'm just kidding. No. There's no. Sorry, Hawaiians. For any Hawaiians listening, you are a beautiful state. Miami, Miawai. I think that means I love Hawaii in Hawaiian. It doesn't actually. And Utah. Old Donny Osmond, state of Utah. He's a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, and the state is a little bit firing squad. That's kind of how they do it there. They got their Mormons, and then maybe, I don't know if the Mormons pick up a rifle, but they got a firing squad going on there too. 4 states, and South Carolina, of course. Can't forget South Carolina. It's terrible. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring you all down with that segment. That I was thinking about doing it, and then I was like,
maybe you need a timeout.
I think so. I think I need a timeout. But anyway, I wanted to. What else did I want to touch on today? We'll get to that in a minute. Let's do this. I got this great. The book of, I told you about this. The Book of Unusual Knowledge. And I really discovered some great things in the Book of Unusual Knowledge. And I'm going to share them with you. But let's see. Before I share them with you, hold on. I'm going to get to the page, so I'm not looking for it feverishly. Here it is. We're going to do, this is going to be a funny segment, but, oh, you know what, I wanted to also tell you, I'm trying to get more of a health segment into the show as well, since I am a trainer. I wanted to give some of you, while I'm looking for this on the top of my head, I wanted to give you guys some health tips. I know sometimes I show exercise tips. Last week we danced to the twist, which was good for the abs, the chubby checker twist. We were doing 1962. Then I had the ring. Remember the ring and the bands and the trampoline behind me? Today I talk a little about food. Let's give you guys some really good healthy choices. Did you guys give up anything for Lent? My Lenters? That you can now eat. My niece was so excited to be delving into pirate booty. Pirate booty. She was so stoked to have gotten the okay now. Easter has come and gone, and you can now eat or have the things that you have given up. What did you give up? Did you give up anything? And it doesn't always have to be a food. It could be a way of life, something you want to try to better. You know, it could be anything. Most people do like, oh, I'm going to give up so-and-so, like a food or something like that. Or maybe a spouse. Maybe you could do that. That's always an option. But food choices, I mean, I was thinking about it, and I think I want you guys to think about blueberries. Any berries are the best in the world for you. Blueberries especially. Super high in antioxidants, keeps you healthy. Flax seeds. Sprinkle those the next time you're having a salad. Flaxseed oil or flax seeds are delicious and very healthy for you. What else do we want to talk about besides those healthier, good choices? I mean, I have a lot of spinach, which is really high and rich in potassium, which is very important for bone health and vitamin K. And all those great riboflavins. So that's my health segment of today. And for some fun tips, they always say a glass of red wine is okay for you to have, and dark chocolate. To my chocolatiers, I know you're coming out of Easter. Maybe you got a dark chocolate bunny. So enjoy that without the guilt. Now, when you're eating a bunny, do you start from the ear, or do you break off a piece? How do you attack the Easter bunny? By the top, ripping the ear off, maybe the bottom, is it a hoof or a foot? Well, it's a rabbit's foot. It's not a hoof, it's not a rabbit's hoof, it's not a lucky rabbit's hoof, it's a lucky rabbit's foot. Alright, well, so last night I'm watching, I love on Sunday nights, Food That Built America. It's one of my favorite shows. Food That Built America. It's a great show. And last night they did the story of Orville Redenbacher. That's what I should have done today. I should have worn a bow tie in honor of Orville Redenbacher. Maybe next week I'll do it. I'll wear the suspenders. I'll do it when we're in the studio. That'll be good. I'll promise you. I'm going to dress up as Orville Redenbacher, and I'll surprise Steve and Sally. But anyway, last night they're doing popcorn, and they do Orville Redenbacher and Jiffy Pop. So gave me the idea to talk about that a little bit today. I really enjoyed as a child I think Jiffy Pop is more interactive. Let's be honest. I know Orville Redenbacher is maybe a better popcorn. And it's funny, both of the developers of these popcorns were from Indiana. Of course they are, the Cornhusker State. They all look like corn there. Not to disingenuize my Indiana Steve Square listeners, if there are any out there. Love the Hoosier State. So I think, let me see if I see this correctly so I can give you the right info. So, Jiffy Pop, 1959, was done by this guy Fred Menon in Indiana, and he develops this process of popping kernels, right? And he actually stole it from a guy five years earlier in Michigan who developed this thing called Easy Pop. But like any good inventions, it's taken, stolen, and they make money. So this guy, Fred Menon, he develops this form of Jiffy Pop. And I think Jiffy Pop, yeah, it was like in the early 60s. You remember the Jiffy Pop? You're kind of holding it over with the, and I don't know how more people didn't scold themselves, burn themselves, or this wasn't taken off the market. You're sitting there over maybe a fire, maybe over your stove. It's stovetop, so that's how it's popping, and then the tinfoil would bubble up, right? It was so exciting to see when it would explode. Very exciting if you're a child. I mean, that is really, that is very exciting. Do I have something for that? I need something. What's all? Oh boy, I wish there was something for. Not really. I need something that captures the essence of how it felt when it popped. It was just so amazing and so exciting. And then a few years later, this gentleman, Orville Redenbacher, his full name is Orville Clarence Redenbacher. It's a great name. Don't you love those kind of throwback names like, what's the actor? Engelbert Cumberbatch. What kind of names are these? I don't think that's the right name. What? Wait, what? It's not Engelbert. I think I combined Engelbert Humperdinck and Orville Redenbacher and the Cumberbatch guy. Anyway, it's great names. So he develops with a partner a certain kernel, a hybrid popcorn that when you use it in the microwave, every kernel pops. Or when you're popping it, however you do it, in hot air, whatever you're doing. Every kernel pops, none are left. You know those little black hard kernels that are left, or they get burnt, they don't pop, you're upset. Half of it didn't even pop. Not in Orville's case. Orville was all over this problem. A massive problem facing America at this time in the early 70s. Forget about inflation, forget about recession, forget about the hostage crisis situation in Iran. Pop those kernels, baby. We're always solving some kind of problem. So he attacked this problem addressing America on popped kernels. And good for him. Because, so he starts this company called Redbow with a partner. He goes to this advertising agency and he's trying to get them to invest, and they say no, but they say, wait a minute, we find this guy, this character rather interesting. You know, he wore the suspenders and the bow tie, he looked kind of throwback. So they said, you should be the spokesman for this popcorn, you be the face of it, and we'll invest, and let's see what happens. And of course, you know what happened. Orville Redenbacher is one of the top-selling popcorn brands in the market. And the rest is history, popcorn history. And I have some popcorn trivia for you. You know, I'm always teaching on this show. I try to always teach. And I'm going to teach you, and hold on a second before I finish teaching you. Yes, that is very good of the popcorn. Here's what I was looking for. Oh, okay, that's what I want to see here. So let me put that over here, because I'm going to need that in a minute. Anyway, so let's do some popcorn trivia facts. These are a few things you didn't know about popcorn. Well, people have been enjoying popcorn for thousands of years. Thousands of years. Traditionally from Native Americans, flavored popcorn back then. Christopher Columbus introduced, allegedly, it's always allegedly, because nobody can confirm any of this nonsense. I don't even know if there was a Christopher Columbus. I can barely confirm anything that happened last week, let alone 500 years ago. But he allegedly introduced popcorn to Europe in the late 15th century. So he was way ahead of Orville Redenbacher. I would like to see Christopher Columbus's face on maybe like a microwave popcorn. The first commercial popcorn machine was invented in Chicago, 1885. And it began selling at carnivals, like at the vending machines. You know, those old vending machines. If you look, you know, I have my popcorn little handy-dandy popcorn holder. How cute is that, right? I always love, you know, I'm the prop guy. I won't leave you guys without props. That was in the 19th century where they started, you know, at the circuses. Popcorn began selling in movie theaters. Since 1912. Since the first horrible movie in 1912, they've now added popcorn. Nowadays, many movie theaters make more money from popcorn sales than movie ticket sales. How about that? That is pretty interesting. That's amazing. Let's see if there's any other things. Americans consume 17 billion quarts of popcorn each year. Steve is consuming about half of that when we go to the movies. He gets, I'm telling you, a garbage can full of popcorn, Steve does. I love him. He loves his popcorn, boy. Belly up to the buffet. Steve he just dives his head right in. 17 billion. Wow. And do you know which state produces more popcorn than any other state? And it's not South Carolina. They're too busy shooting people. It's Nebraska, of course. Popcorn comes in two basic shapes: snowflake and mushroom. Interesting. So there's a little popcorn tidbit trivia for you. I thought you might enjoy that. There was another thing I thought you might enjoy too, and I'm going to try to find it for you. Oh, that's interesting. But I might hold on that till next week. Let's try. This is funny too. But I like. But there was something else I thought was funnier. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Anyway. Well, so that's all the popcorn knowledge you could possibly consume, which is really, really good. You know, I was at the library, as I so often am, and they have a bulletin board where they say you can't put anything on there that is promoting or something like that. Usually it's the standard things they have on this bulletin board, tax help, some event they're holding. It's not for promotional business use. It's for just, here's a phone number for how to become a Boy Scout or something like that. More general knowledge. Okay. So, I'm on there, and I'm leaving, and I go, what is this? Because I always like to look at the board. They have some interesting things that I like to see. They'll have things that you could donate to charities, whatever the case may be. And they have Rod Stewart performing this Friday night at Sergio's. And you know how I always tell you about Sergio's in Massapequa, this silly Italian restaurant that purports to have these superstars performing there. So I am like, what? This board is sacred, and it's big letters, only for private use, for their library use, not for commercial, not for business, not for advertising, anything. I mean, do better. I'm calling out the library. I always call out the library. They're so easy to call out. It's like CBS. I could call them out every day of the week to do better. And I don't want to sound like someone to harp on the same topics over and over again. But I can't help it because they bring it upon themselves. When you bring it upon yourself, you have nobody to blame but yourself. Do better. Hope my taxes went through okay. I'm sure I'll be getting a text or a call at 11:59. Hey, can you look up your tax return from 12 years ago? It's always a problem. What are you going to do? So, yes. But there was, I was giving the library a little hard time. I don't know if I'll give a hard time to this, but remember I showed you guys last week in Newsday, they were featuring high school wrestlers, and I was like, alright, they're doing high school sports. They're doing this again with bowling. They're featuring bowling. I don't understand with the bowling. High school bowling? I mean, what? I guess so. I don't know. You know why I look at it like that? Because I'm not really a bowler. I did it a couple of times, but I didn't really enjoy it. Speaking of bowling, if you going to bowl, and we all know it's a very lethargic sport. You throw the ball, you wait for it to get around, come up the hole, and then it's just a long wait. It's like golf. It's these laborious of boring sports. I guess they call it a sport. I call it a recreational sport. I'm sure I'm going to get hate mail, hate tweets, hate Instagrams from all my bowler watchers. But if you are going to bowl and maybe you're a fan of bowling and you're sitting in the audience watching this boring, dare I say, sport of kings, grab yourself a Celsius out of the vending machine. Of course, there won't be one. But if there is, grab yourself an ice cold Celsius to keep you awake through 12 beautifully exciting frames of pins crashing to go home with an excruciating headache. Do you ever go to a bowling alley? They're so noisy. There's just pins and it's so noisy. It's so annoying. Ugh, I can't. It's too much. Let's break open one of these babies. Oh, that's nice. Beautiful. So now I left my plastic straws, the straws I enjoy. The one thing I do to the planet, I know it's wrong, but I can get away with it because I do so much. I bring so much to the planet that I'm taking a little. I feel I've done enough for the planet that I can take something back. It's like you put something down, you take it back. I don't think the planet will mind or be upset with me. So I like my plastic straws. I left them at my sister's house over the Easter holiday. So I had to run out today, and of course you can't find plastic straws. And I got these crappy compostable. It's a hard word to say. They're terrible. They're made from 100% chalk. I don't know what they're made from. Made from dirt, ground up plant. Who knows what the hell they're made of. So this is what I have to endure. It's a Monday. You're just coming off a tiring week, holiday week. You just want you don't want more problems. And now I have to have my enjoyable Celsius, the one thing I look forward to in a day. And now I have to sip it through through some kind of rubberized plant bark. I'm not going to enjoy that. Let's see if I do. I'll tell you, boy. Nothing can hurt the icy cold taste of a Celsius, the proud non-sponsor of the Steve Squared Show. That is delicious.
Turner, my name is Dubs. Me? I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Do your freaking best. That is pretty funny. So much better there than he is singing in Rhinestone. Anyway, so I want to do this other little segment featuring an actor or actress. I had done this several weeks back, and I had been watching this actress in a lot of different movies, and she is awesome. Mylin Ackerman. She is fantastic, a Swedish actress. She is in a lot of really good movies. She's in a lot of rom-coms. If you ever saw her with Katherine Heigl, 27 Dresses, with also James Marsden. 27 Dresses. What else is she in? Couples Retreat with Jason Bateman, Vince Vaughn. It's a fun, again, little fun rom-com-y. She's in a lot of those rom-com-y fun movies. I thought she was the best, though, in The Heartbreak Kid or just Heartbreak Kid with Ben Stiller. So funny. Ben Stiller is this depressed guy, single. He's getting close. He's around 40. He wants to get married, and they're all saying, you find something wrong with every girl. He meets Madeline's character, and they've only been dating for like a month, and he's like, she's going to go off to the Peace Corps, and he doesn't want her to leave, so he marries her. And it turns out to be a disaster. She's just so funny and so crazy. Heartbreak Kid, see it. It's a great movie. So, she was also in The Proposal, which was really good with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds and Betty White, the great Betty White. So she does a lot of more movies than you'll be like, oh, that's Mylin Ackerman. I know her. So you might not know her by name. She's not as household a name as we're used to. And I think it's important, and here's what I would give you an assignment to do. Find actors or actresses that are not the top, the Kristen Wiig or Tina Fey, or just your, Judi Dench. You know how I feel about that. Judi Dench, or the Sandra Bullocks or Julia Roberts. Dig a little deeper. Find some other actors or actresses that are, not, they're fine. The Ryan Reynolds, the Bradley Coopers, the Tom Hanks and Leonardo's and Matt Damon's and Ben Affleck's. Go underneath. There's so many good actors and actresses, and I want you to find some other movies to watch and to see some better people there. But she's terrific. I wanted to also suggest a couple of movies for you guys. And here they are. 2 movies I wanted to suggest that I had recently. They're 2 favorites of mine. I think you should watch them. They're fantastic. One is an old one. What year is this one? I think it's like 1989. How I Got Into College. I'm telling you, watch this movie. It is hysterical. How I Got Into College. And I'm trying to think who the actor that played, who you would know. Anthony Edwards is in it. Remember Anthony Edwards from, he was in ER. I think he was in ER with the great George Clooney. They were the 2 doctors, the 2 main doctors. Anthony Edwards is great. Corey Parker plays this kid trying to get into college, and he's not a good high school student, like a C average, and he wants to follow this girl, Jessica, to get into college, and he wants to go to Ramsey College where she's going. So it's a really, private college, and he has no chance of getting in, but Anthony Edwards plays an admissions guy, and it's a funny movie. Also, along those same lines, kind of really along the same idea of trying to get into a college and everything like that, is Orange County. Orange County is really good. That's a little later. That's like 2002. And Tom Hanks' son plays, Colin Hanks, is playing the kid trying to get into Stanford. He wants to be a writer, and he's a very smart kid. And he's got his transcripts in order, and he has the meeting with his guidance counselor, Lily Tomlin, plays the guidance counselor. And she sends the wrong transcript in, and he doesn't get into college. So now he's freaking out. He's trying to find a way to get in touch with the school to try to get in. Jack Black plays his, dirtbag brother. His mom is Catherine O'Hara. His father is John Lithgow. It's a stellar cast. I mean, A-list. Kevin Kline is in it. Gary Marshall's in it. It is hysterical. It's one of my favorite songs from Sugar Bomb. Is the title song, Hello. So if you ever listen to that song, Hello, Hello, from Sugar Bomb, I'm giving you so much. And what are you giving me? But your attention, your devotion, which is more than enough. It's all I ask. Plus a small donation to the Steve Square Fund. I need to start one of those GoFundMe Steve Square pages. Just for the heck of it. And I wonder if I would have to pay tax on that. Maybe next year. Not paying it on this year, I'll tell you that for darn sure. Hey, I wonder if I could have written that off. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think of that. I'm thinking of all these write-offs I could have done now. My friendship to Steve I could have written off. I wonder what that's worth. Probably not a lot. There's probably a lot I could have written off over the time, but you know what? I'll amend my tax return. I don't like to pull up red flags, so once you start amending and sending and things that end in ing, never a good idea, because then they want to dig. Why is this guy amending? What's going on? Then they might find the yacht I have sitting in the Bar Harbor Canal. Or something like that. My 3 homes in Fire Island and Tuscany. I do the Steve Square Show because I am a philanthropist. I'm someone that loves to give. I'm a giver. But that's a great movie. Harold Ramis and Leslie Mann are in this movie, Orange County. And not only do I give you suggestions of where you could see this movie, what movie to see, and I gave you a title song from Sugar Bomb, Hello, Hello. Actually, you know what other funny song is in this movie? Do you remember the song by Crazy Town, Butterfly? I think I played it on. Wait, I'll play you a little clip of it. But that is a really funny song. It's just it's not a funny song. It's just funny in the way they use it. Remember the song? So every time he's like freaked out, this song comes on, and all the people are like, "That's my song."
Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby. Come my lady, come.
And yes, that is not Sylvester Stallone singing.
That is so fetch.
That is so fetch. I love that. That's from Mean
That
Girls.
is so fetch.
I'm gonna bring that back. That was from like the late early 2000s. I think that's really something to bring back.
Do better?
That's true. Do a little better. I think you could do a little better. But that's really something that you guys should check out. It is an awesome movie, and it's streaming on Amazon Prime. Watch Orange County on Amazon. It's also on Hulu and HBO. And what is and How I Got Into College is on Amazon. Amazon, you can. I like Amazon better than Netflix. I'm finding I can see more things I'm looking for on Amazon than on Netflix, and I don't understand this. Sometimes when it's on Amazon, even though you're paying for Amazon Prime, then they still charge you $3.99 to rent the stupid movie. So I don't understand that. It's never enough. It's never enough. More. Amazon, Netflix, they just want more. I saw my friend, he had these like VHS tapes. He's got this whole downstairs where he hasn't gotten rid of them. And I thought, remember that with the VHS, and you'd put them in and the thing would wind and ruin your whole VCR. And the days of Blockbuster. You remember going into a Blockbuster or a Hollywood Video, and I remember seeing that little thing outside when Netflix, right? You can rent the Netflix movie, and it was like, what is this Netflix thing? And who would have known it would become this enormous blood-sucking conglomerate to take your soul away and provide you with such little content. I feel like I can never find something when I'm searching on Netflix, and it's very annoying. But anywho, this is. Let me see if I give you. I like to give a little trivia. Yeah, let's do this. Here's some. This was pretty interesting. I found a couple. Do you know I played the Beatles, the Taxman, at the beginning of this show. And do you know their name before they were the Beatles? I'll give you 5 seconds. All right. For time purposes, we'll speed up to 5 seconds. They were known as the Quarrymen. The Beatles, so much better. The Quarrymen. Because, they're from Liverpool, the Quarrymen, I guess. I don't know. The Queen. You know Queen? Their original name of their band, of Queen, was Smile. What a stupid name. That's not a good name. Green Day, one of my favorite bands, Green Day, was Sweet Children. I don't understand who's coming up with these names. Look at this. Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd's original name before they were Pink Floyd was Tea-Set. Like a tea set, like a child's tea set. It's just terrible. Here's one for you. Simon and Garfunkel, before they were... Now, this is their names. How did they have... Wait, they had a change? Before they were Simon and Garfunkel, they did Tom and Jerry. That was going to be... I guess they were playing on the Tom and Jerry cartoon, but was that a cartoon back then? I don't know how far back Tom and Jerry goes. I don't know. And Blondie, the great Blondie, Deborah Harry, I guess her band was going to be Angel and the Snake. And they thought better of it and just went with Blondie. It always works out the correct way. Did you ever notice that? Maybe those names would have been good. Probably not. Just not. Kiss, with all the makeup. You remember Kiss? Gene Simmons and all the guys. Their original name was Wicked Lester. Wicked Lester. Not good. Not really digging the names of these, some of these things here. These are not good. But next week I'm going to, and again, this is a great book, The Book of Unusual Knowledge. And I love those kind of things, looking up those unusual factoid trivia. It will definitely help you at a party, maybe. Maybe you're on an awkward Tinder date, dating app, right? You don't know what to say. Hey, you know, the Beatles' first band used to be called the Quarrymen. And then the date should take off right from there. Check. Check, please. So, but what I'm trying to do is give you useless information to get through one of those awkward first meeting dates. Hey, did you see the Steve Square? Now remember, always start with, don't use my information without giving us proper attribution. Must credit the Steve Squared Show for anything you say in life, whether you heard it here or not. Hey, did you hear the Steve Squared said the Beatles used to be called the Quarrymen, and the Steve Squared Show puts their approval on Malin Ackerman in 27 Dresses or Heartbreak Kid. So something like that. Always somehow fit in the Steve Squared Show in any of your conversations. And then I won't have to take legal action. Because I'll find out. I know what you're all doing. And I know when you're using my information. Because I know what I say on the show. Sometimes I listen when I'm talking. Usually I don't. So what are you going to... Let's recap. Are you going to get Jiffy Pop tonight? What are you going to watch on your next movie? Jiffy Pop or... And I think they should do that at the movie theater. You know how they give you... South Carolina gives you the choice of getting shot or electrocuted. I think you should get the choice at the movie theater whether you're having microwave popcorn or you take the thing at your seat and go like this. They should give you a little hot plate and you shake the thing with... And popcorn's popping all over the place in the theater. That's fun. I'm just giving some help to the struggling theaters, the struggling theater industry. Make it more interactive, more fun. You're going to watch one of those movies, right, that I suggested, Orange County or How I Got Into College on Amazon. Maybe a Malin Ackerman film. What else did we talked about so much today. We had a good Easter and Passover and great holidays. We're gonna, as soon as we close out, we're gonna go double check, make sure our taxes were done, right? We're gonna double check that. Don't forget that. And you're going to check out that episode on how food that built America. It was a great episode, and I love, again, biographical, depictorial things about true stories. So this was really interesting about Orville Redenbacher. And I feel like Orville Redenbacher is that kind of Colonel Sanders type character that branded the name and the food really well. They had one on Dave Thomas, who worked for KFC, which was really interesting. Dave Thomas, the Wendy's guy, started out working for Colonel Sanders and moved on to Wendy's. And he got into a little advertising. He would start dissing Colonel Sanders, saying their chicken was greasy, disgusting, and their stuff was great. And boy, I'll tell you, in the fast food industry, there's no loyalty or love. It's just right for the old fried chicken jugular. I've never in my life had Wendy's, so I can't speak on them. I'm fine without any of these places. But I'll tell you, I'm going to try to do that next week. Hold me to it. I'm going to do my best to put an Orville Redenbacher outfit together. Because I love the way that guy dressed. Totally sold the brand. I mean, that's what sells, right? Is kind of that shtick. Popcorn's popcorn, and it's all the same crap. It's all the same. To me, popcorn tastes like styrofoam. What gives popcorn the flavor is when they salt it and butter it anyway, or else you're just eating styrofoam in a funny shape. And I could do without all of it. Again, I think when Steve's in the studio next week, we'll get more of the first-hand take. You see how much I can really smash on Steve when he's not here? I smash on him when he's there anyway. He's a good sport. We have fun. But we talked you're going to definitely check out Dolly Parton's audiobook as she's blasting Sylvester Stallone. As that was our peek behind the curtain of really bringing another celebrity down. I let you listen to his horrible rendition or song in Rhinestone Cowboy. That's a movie, that's a not to watch. Do not waste your time. But watch the video of him singing in that scene. Very funny. Rhinestone, 1984. And I think that's pretty much really good. And again, if I offended any bowlers, people from Indiana, no one was hurt in the making of the Steve Squire Show today. This was all in good taste and good fun. I love all my Hoosier State people. South Carolina, maybe you could do a little better. Give a third choice. Not just electrocuting and shooting. Maybe something else. Maybe an infection. Maybe you stick them with a nail and let them have an infection. Something slower. Get creative. You know, this is not the 1600 where you're just giving two choices. People like choices. Shooting or electrocution, more. We want more. For God's sake. Anyway, I gotta leave you on something better. Do something better. I challenge all of you to do better. Today you're going to have your blueberries, your flaxseed, your vitamin C, maybe some spinach. That's what you're going to do better. I know you will. For myself, and me, and of course, and for Kermit, I want you all to have a wonderful week, wonderfully safe week. We'll see you next week at 6:30 in the studio on the Steve Square Show from Gov's Radio. Check out all the shows, govsradio.com, especially the Steve Square Show. I hear it's really good. Or you can go right on my Instagram at Steven with an N, R, Kaminsky, Kaminsky, that's why. And so we did pretty well today. We covered a lot. Otherwise, enjoy the week. Don't work too hard. Take a moment to do better. And we will see. What are we going to leave you out with? I think I got something fun to leave you out with. I'm going to leave you out with...
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks. Here we go.
Sexy, you look good, this shit rotation got me sprung with your tongue ring. And I ain't gonna lie, cause your loving gets me high. So you keep it by my side, there's nothing that I won't try. Butterflies in the eyes and the looks to kill. Time is passing, I'm asking, could this be real? Cause I can't sleep, I can't hold still. The only thing I really know is she got sex appeal. I can feel too much is never enough. You always telling me feel, it's time to get up. I was lost and one found ever since you been around. You're the woman that I want, so I put it down. Come my lady, come my lady. You're my butterfly.